Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel, or if you are new here, I am Silver Shepherd and I talk about anything and everything gold and silver related. I hope you're having a good day today because silver is sitting around $89 an ounce, and this is the highest we've seen it in history. And honestly, I think a lot of people are feeling a mix of excitement and panic right now. On one hand, if you've been stacking for a while, this is the moment you've been waiting for. And on the other hand, when silver hits new all-time highs, this is when people start making some of the worst financial decisions because emotions run high and FOMO kicks in. So in today's video, we're going to slow things down and we're going to talk about the top 5 mistakes you should absolutely avoid at these price levels, what you should be doing instead, and why stacking precious metals still makes sense even at $88 an ounce. So my goal today is to keep you grounded, calm, and informed so you don't look back in 6 months and think, man, I really messed up during those times. So without any further ado, let's get right back into the video. So let's start off with mistake number 1, and that is panic buying out of FOMO. When silver hits new all-time highs like this, it creates this emotional pressure that a lot of people don't even recognize in themselves. It feels like you're watching a train take off and you're just sprinting to jump on it before it leaves the station forever. People start thinking things like, silver only goes up from here and I'll regret this if I don't get it now. And that mindset is dangerous. Panic buying is how you end up paying double premiums, buying products you normally wouldn't touch, wrecking your monthly budget, putting emotion over logic, and setting yourself up for disappointment if price cools off. FOMO makes people buy without a plan, but the truth is, silver gives you plenty of opportunities over the years, not minutes. The goal is wealth preservation and not impulse spending. Whenever you feel that I need to buy right now pressure, that actually is a red flag telling you to slow down, breathe, and reassess what you're doing. Mistake number 2 is paying insane premiums for the wrong products. This is one of the most expensive mistakes stackers make during hype cycles. Whenever silver is calm, premiums are relatively steady. But when price rips up to new highs, dealers know demand is through the roof and they raise premiums fast. Suddenly American Silver Eagles get even more expensive, same with Canadian Maple Leafs, fractional silver becomes borderline ridiculous, random collectibles double because of hype, limited edition appear out of nowhere, and scarcity becomes a marketing tactic. And this is where a lot of people overpay the most. If spot is $85, but you end up paying $100 after premiums, you're not just buying silver, you're buying hype, emotion, and dealer markup. And here's the real kicker with that. When silver cools down after the run, premiums collapse first, which means you take a hit before the spot price even drops. So even if silver stays high, your collectible premium disappears, leaving you with a piece that suddenly is worth way less. So the solution to this is to stick to the fundamentals. Generic rounds, generic bars, secondary market silver, trustworthy brands, government coins, and weight categories with stable liquidity. Don't let hype turn an $85 asset into a $120 mistake. Mistake number 3 is stacking only one type of silver. When the market gets crazy, people tend to gravitate towards a single category, sometimes without even realizing it. Someone will decide, I'm only buying Eagles for right now, or others saying bars are the move or rounds are the cheapest, or I'm only buying government issued coins because they feel more official. And the problem is, different forms of silver serve different purposes, especially at all-time high. Right now, rounds are usually the lowest premium, bars give you the most efficient cost per ounce, and government coins are great for liquidity and trust. If you only buy one category, you're missing out on the flexibility, because the reality is, if you ever need to sell quickly, having a mix gives you options. Rounds are for easy liquidation, bars are for bulk sale, and coins for dealer trust and smooth buyback. If you're 100% into high premium coins, your stack becomes tied to the market. If you're 100% in large bars, you might have liquidity problems, and if you're 100% into rounds, you might miss out on premium retention. Long-term stackers diversify, not because it's trendy, but because it's smart, especially at all-time highs. Mistake number 4 is ignoring liquidity. Liquidity is one of those topics that newer stackers don't think about until they try to sell something. And at all-time highs, liquidity changes a lot. When silver goes parabolic like it is right now, more people start selling silver, pawn shops get flooded, local coin shops become selective, dealers tighten spreads, some shops only buy certain brands, some limit how much they're willing to purchase, buyback prices become conservative, and large bars get harder to move. Liquidity gets tighter because suddenly there's way more silver hitting the market than usual. And here's the thing most people overlook. Not all silver is equally liquid. The 100 ounce bar is way harder to sell and requires the buyer having enough capital to buy it. Dealers might offer below spot or avoid them altogether during floods. Rounds are much easier. Dealers move those all day long. And government coins are always liquid no matter the market. But premiums can crash from $12 to $7 price overnight. People forget that when everyone wants to buy silver, selling is easy. But when everyone wants to sell, only the most liquid products move quickly. At $89, make sure you're stacking pieces that someone will want when you eventually want to cash out. And the 5th and last mistake is believing silver will only go up from here. And this is a classic emotional trap that every single generation of stackers has fallen into. In 1980, silver hit $50 and people said it's going to $200. In 2011, it hit $48. In 2020, it hit $30. And now it's at $85 and people are calling for it to hit $150, $200, and $300. And every cycle feels like the cycle to push through. And it might be, we don't know it for a fact, silver could absolutely break higher. And I think it will continue to go higher. But if history teaches us anything, it's that parabolic moves always have a correction. And that's not bearish, that's just the nature of the markets. The danger is thinking that corrections don't matter anymore, that this time is different, and silver only goes up from here. That mindset leads to overpaying at the exact moment premiums and spot price hit their peak. The people who do the best in silver stacking are the ones who stay emotionally neutral, no hype, no fear, just a steady long-term approach. Silver hits $100 or back to 60 or 70, your plan should not rely on guessing the future, so stack smart and not emotionally. Okay, so now that we've covered the mistakes, let's talk about what you should be doing at $85. And number one is slow down and reevaluate your strategy. This is a perfect time to take a step back and ask yourself, what's my long-term goal? Am I stacking for wealth preservation or speculation? Do I have enough cash reserves? And am I chasing spot price or sticking to a plan? Slow is smooth and smooth is fast with silver. So don't forget to take a second and rethink. Second thing is focus on low premium silver. Right now you should be gravitating towards generic rounds, generic bars, secondary market silver, 10-ounce bars, and anything not hyped or premium heavy. You want the metal and not the marketing. You want the most ounces for your dollar, and generic rounds do that just perfectly. Stick to low premium items where you're not paying for the hype. Third thing is dollar cost averaging if you're continuing to stack. Dollar cost averaging keeps emotions out of it. Instead of making one big purchase at $85, spread it out. Dollar cost averaging is basically where you take the same amount of money weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, and put it into silver no matter what the price is, because it'll always lead to it being the cheapest price in the long run, whether the price goes up or down. It just reduces the risk and keeps your average price stable. The fourth thing is to consider selling small portions and only if you need it. This isn't financial advice, but if you've been stacking for years and your cost basis is low, taking a little profit isn't a bad idea. Not your whole stack, not a panic sell, but maybe a trim of a few ounces to rebalance or cover some personal goals. Silver is a tool, so use it when it makes sense. The fifth thing is to tighten your budget. Don't chase silver with debt. Never buy silver with credit cards, loans, rent money, emergency funds, and anything you can't afford to lose. Always prioritize financial safety. Your stack should make you feel more secure, not stressed. If what you have is making you anxious or lose sleep at night, you should always reevaluate what you're doing and make a change. So now let's talk about why you should be stacking precious metals even at $89. Because the reasons remain strong, and number one is wealth preservation. Silver and gold have held their purchasing power for thousands of years through wars, inflations, recessions, currencies, and collapses. Paper currencies always lose value over time, and silver really hasn't. The second thing is inflation hedge. Inflation may cool for a while, then spike again, but the dollar always trends downwards long term. Silver is one of the few assets that naturally keeps up with the real world costs. The third thing is that it's a hard asset with no counterparty risk. Silver doesn't require a banker, a broker, a password, a third party, an app, or government guarantee. It's yours in hand, and no one can freeze it or delete it. That matters more today than ever before. The fourth thing is diversification beyond stocks and real estate. Most people have all their wealth tied up in a house, 401k, a job, a bank account, or anything like that. One disruption and everything suddenly feels unstable. Silver is outside of the system. It balances your portfolio and gives you peace of mind. The fifth and last thing is that long-term upside still exists. Even at $89, silver is still historically undervalued compared to gold, inflation-adjusted highs, industrial demands, supply constraints, mining output, and electrification and solar. The long-term thesis for silver is still strong. The key is stacking smart and not recklessly. So let's bring it all together. The top 5 mistakes to avoid is panic buying out of FOMO, paying crazy premiums, stacking only one type of silver, ignoring liquidity, and believing silver will only go up from here. What you should be doing is slow down and reassess, focus on low premium silver, dollar cost averaging, only sell small amounts strategically, and don't buy with debt. And we should continue stacking for long-term wealth protection, inflation hedge, real physical no counterparty risk asset, diversification, and a strong long-term outlook. If you stay disciplined, calm, and strategic, you'll come out of this all-time high cycle stronger than ever. Okay, so that is going to wrap up the video. Silver at $89 is exciting, but it's also a time to stay sharp, focused, and avoid these emotional mistakes that trap newer stackers. And if you enjoyed this breakdown and want more content just like this 3 times a week, make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below. What are you doing at $85? Are you buying, and what is your favorite thing to buy? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.